What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I literally just got home and you guys already know it's super late in the day again, and I debated on doing the work right now into the night or just doing it tomorrow. But if I do it tomorrow, that means I have less than 24 hours to get the car ready for the track. Today was kind of running around. I was trying to find Pennzoil synchro mesh, and this is what Knock recommended to me when he rebuilt my transmission right there on the floor a couple years ago. And for some reason AutoZone don't carry it anymore. I went to the first spot, they didn't have it. Went to the second spot, they didn't have it. I asked the counter, they said, oh, they're discontinued, we don't sell them anymore. I'm like, that's kind of weird. They're not really discontinued, you guys just, I guess, don't carry it anymore, if that's what the case is. So I ended up calling Winchester. I went to the first spot, they said they had it, and then they didn't have Pennzoil, they have Royal Purple. The guy was mistaken, he was like, oh, I thought you said Royal Purple, Pennzoil. I get why he would get that mistaken, but they didn't have it. So then I had to go to a different Winchester. They had 6 in stocks. Ended up grabbing 2 quarts for my transmission. Finally got back home after going to the PO box. A subscriber said in my last video that was actually uploaded today that there were some boxes at the PO box, and I went over there, grabbed those 2 boxes. We'll get into that at the end of the video, guys. So if you guys haven't seen the race 4 video, be sure to go check it out. I took this car out to the track a couple weeks ago, and the car was obviously all-wheel drive at the time, but I broke it on the way there, and then we ended up making it to the track anyways. We got to the track, we took out the rear axles in the car and made the car front-wheel drive, and my buddy Eduardo let me borrow his slicks to run it front-wheel drive because it'd be pointless to run street tires in a 500 horsepower car down a drag strip. So on 23s we ran the 1150 index, and we took home 3rd place. Now the last track for the year, last event for the year, is CMI Fall Fling, which is coming up here in September 12th, which is 2 days from now. And I want to take this car down the track one last time. And if you guys have seen the very beginning video of my return from my break, I mentioned that there's a few things that's going to be happening, and that I'll explain it once we get to it. So when I say the last time going down the track, I mean this car is going to go down the track one last time, and I'm going to get rid of it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of this car. I still got to get rid of the Flip RX, and then this car is going to follow after. I don't know why I said 3. It's 2 cars that I'm getting rid of here, hopefully by the end of the year. And I want to take this car on this last track event before I part ways with it. So what I'm trying to do is I am converting this car back to front-wheel drive. Sorry if I'm talking too much right now. I just kind of want to explain everything. The job that I'm doing today, I'm not showing you guys everything because we've done it a jillion times before, but I want to take this car down the track one last time. When I bought this car in 2015, my goal was to always go 10s in it, but years ago I didn't know how to drive. I'm not the greatest driver now, but I've done pretty great at the last event. So I'm sure that if I apply it again to this car front-wheel drive with a transmission that's not going to run out of gears, I think we're able to achieve our goal, especially because we're making a little more power now. But in today's video, we're going to be swapping the all-wheel drive transmission. I'm taking all the all-wheel drive components out of the car, drive shaft, differential, all that stuff, and putting in my GSR M Factory LSD transmission. This was the transmission that was in the car prior to going all-wheel drive. This transmission is treating me well. This was also in my cousin's car that went in 11s, his 4-door, and he also went all-wheel drive. So the transmission has been sitting here collecting dust since. I want to throw the transmission back in the car, get it up and running, and making sure everything's all good and dandy before we head out Sunday morning and hopefully hit our goal at Sacramento CMI Fall Fling. So enough jibber jabber. I'm gonna go ahead and God, I watched too much Taylor Ray. Enough with the talking, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and just get this car up in jack stands and start tearing that transmission out of here. So here's a funny story. Took me an hour to pull out the transmission, and I just threw you guys on a time lapse because I was just trying to get it done. So I battled trying to pull out the transmission for a cool minute, and then I realized when I was underneath the car, I did not take off this 17 mil. So when I was prying and prying and prying, it just wouldn't separate. I thought the back of the transmission was hitting the subframe right there. And yeah, that wasn't it. It was a freaking bolt that I forgot to take out. Took it out, and the transmission came out with ease. And then I just took a little step back on the bench, took a little breather, and yeah, we got the transmission out. So this is the T bracket from the DA Integra that I got with Leo at the junkyard a week ago, and you have to use the DAT bracket, rear L bracket, whatever you want to call this, for a front wheel drive transmission, regardless if you're cable transmission or hydraulic. This is a hydro GSR, and what we have to do as far as getting this to work with that transmission, if this was on a DA transmission, which is cable driven, you don't have to modify this at all. But if you're running the hydro transmission, you have to hog out these holes on the bottom to accept a 19 millimeter bolt, where a DA is 17 mil. So this is a 19 mil bolt. You can see it does not go in there, and the top one doesn't either, but you can thread it in there, but why thread it when you can just hog it out and just slip the bolt right through? So a simple modification for that would be a step drill bit, a drill. Pretty straightforward. You just kind of hog it a little bit, just a little bit. Do it on both sides. Make sure you check it a little bit more. So you can see has a little play in it, which is good, especially when you have stiff ass motor mounts. Top one ready to go. Now I just got to go through my bolt box, my bolt bin, to find a longer 19 mil. The bottom is short, you can see how it's tapered, and then the top one has like a good 2.5 inch spacer in there, so you need a bolt that goes all the way through. Perfect. We are tight in space as far as the rear bracket goes from the block to the subframe. So what I like to do is, while the engine can still shift back and forth, I'm gonna put the T bracket in first before putting on the transmission. Same thing for when you're swapping a full swap and not just a transmission swap. I always like to put the T bracket on the engine first and then scoot the engine back to align the driver and passenger mount, and then bolt it all up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wiggle this in there right now. Got a lot of stuff in the way, so we'll pick back up with you guys when transmission's ready to go back in. So this is my clutch cable that I broke 2 years ago when I drove all the way down to Fontana, and it's held up perfectly fine, but it does not work with the front wheel drive bracket right there, because we don't have enough adjustability to tension up the cable. So this is pretty much trash, or I can't use it for the front wheel drive. And so it's nice to have spares around from parts cars, or sometimes I even get this from Junkyard because I believe it's discontinued now, and this car is not full hydro. This car isn't full hydro like all the other cars, utilizing the hydro transmission. So this car actually kept the cable just to keep my heater core vent for the driver's side. So I'm just going to go ahead and hook this back up. Pretty much reverse the process, guys. I'm gonna try to get as much done as I can tonight, and we'll continue tomorrow. And the reason for that is because I can't finish it tonight anyways, because I just realized the starter that was on here is in the Flip RX, so I don't even have a starter. I've been running Pennzoil single mesh without any issues. I mean, leave a comment down below. What do you guys run with your rebuilt transmission or your LSD transmission? I mean, the guy over the counter today told me about Amsoil, and I've never ran it before, but I mean, I'm open to trying different things, I guess, or anything that's gonna help it better than Pennzoil. So the speed sensor that I am using is just a 5-speed single cam 88 to 91 Civic speed sensor, and it looks just like this. This literally slips into the hole of the B series transmission. And you guys, I mean, if you guys don't know, the mile an hour is not accurate. You're probably going to be about 10-15 miles off because of the, I guess, the ratio. This has never been accurate for me since day one, and tire size and stuff plays a big role too. But as long as the speed sensor is working and it's not throwing a check engine light, this car had to be slammed before I came in here. I don't know what these are, but they look pretty old school. So I came into the Junkyard looking for a starter, and I came across this EJ1, which was originally teal sunroof, and it has a B20 swap, JDM B20 swap, right? And I needed a starter. Found an OE starter, which is cool. 27 bucks plus tax and core, opposed to buying a brand new one for 150. And I'm kind of looking at this transmission, no rivets, so this is like a 94-95, and I'm like debating on pulling it out to see what's the gear ratio. What is this? I don't know what shock these are. You guys already know the first thing, ECU gone. I dragged these out from underneath the car. Spoon rep mirrors, pretty clean interior. Unfortunately, this car is in its resting grounds. Really clean, but I have my starter. I'm gonna walk the rest of the yard because the last time I was here there was a lot of empty rows. This was one of it. You see the orange mark on the floor. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my stuff, continue walking, and see what else is good in here before I take off. Next to the Civic over there was a fresh TSX in that same row. Here's another fresh TSX, untouched, and I've been wanting another K24A2, but I don't have all my tools to pull it out. Trying to avoid it, but Honda Prelude H22, first EF in a long time. I remember this one coming in after me and Leo left the yard. It had an optional center console, which is gone. You can see the screws. Automatic, all stock. So this was the original Integra I came here to find a starter for. This is the one we saw last week that I wanted to pull the tranny, but I didn't want to do all the work. Looks like somebody already did it. But now I don't want the tranny because it's not 50% off anymore. And the starter's still here, OEM. And I guess I'm not going to choose between the two. I'm just going to hide this one. In case the other one doesn't work, I can always come back and exchange for this one. Hopefully they don't take this car already. This DA is the one where I got my T-bracket from, and apparently somebody went hammy in here. So post mount, I told Leo that's money. Somebody already took it. I wanted this tranny originally as well, 50% off, because it was cable. Cable's hard to come by, and somebody pulled it out, but it's not 50% off. I'm not willing to spend the money. Keep on trucking. So I came to my storage to grab my Silix, since we are running front wheel drive. Bring my good old Bogarts out of retirement, because it's been a long time since I ran these. Got to make sure you have your shank style lug nuts. They are specific for the Bogarts. These are 24s. Got to bring them home because we're going to track tomorrow, and got to get my skinnies too. Oh shit! Fucking heavy! Yeah! Damn! If that was my left arm, I would have definitely dislocated that. Do not tip. That is a very sad sight to see. But it is what it is. I just got the starter cleaned up, right? Looks presentable. This kind of broke, but I just looked at the starter right now, and it is cracked on the casing from there all the way across over here, and there's a chunk literally missing right there. Didn't notice it, and I messed up because the marking is almost completely gone, and if this starter does not work, I cannot exchange it today, because Junkyard closes in like 30 minutes or so. I think 30 minutes, and obviously Junkyard don't open tomorrow before I leave, which is going to be like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm using this innovative shift linkage right here, guys, and I was just about ready to install this, but yeah, I'm missing this bushing right here. I thought I had one, but you guys know I recently built the AWD CRX, and everything that I have front wheel drive went into that car, probably including the bushing, and I thought I had a Dimes billet kit somewhere, but that's nowhere to be found. So I need a bushing and bracket to bolt this inside the car or underneath the car. Calling around, posted up some posts on the gram to see if anybody has one locally. This is literally the last thing I need to put into the car. So the grommet for the shifter goes right there, and it is glued, sealed tight to the tunnel. And when I pull my whole setup out of this car, it's going to stay all-wheel drive, just not with my stuff in it. And that means there's going to be a little short series of converting this car to all-wheel drive using a different different components. So the shift cables are still going to be staying in the car, and I need to tear all this apart so I can get it ready to slip the shift linkage through and at least get that bolted up in the front part of the transmission. Sheesh. This thing's been on here for quite some time. I got to remove this nutsert, this riv nut, because this is going to be in the way of where the bushing is going to sit. About to head over to my buddy Christian's house, and he has the bracket and the bushing for me. As long as I replace it for him, which I'm going to get him a new one, I'm going to head over there now. So this is the homie Christian right here. He just came through with the bushing, and I ended up talking to him for about an hour and a half. It's nice catching up with the homies. Now I'm about to head back home so we can finish the bushing, which is the last thing needed. Make sure everything runs good, like everything shifts and everything, and then put my console and stuff back in. You guys saw what we did, so let's get back home and finish up this dang car. Stop by the gas station to grab some E85 in the spare jug. We are traveling 120 miles, so it's nice to have extras. So I just got home, and this whole entire thing was super dark, but I noticed there was some spider webs here, and I almost walked into this This giant ass freaking thing right here. Look at this.
Damn, as big as your thumb.
Holy. Oh damn, thing gives me the only thing I don't like about the innovative shift linkage is that it is never centered. So if you look at the shifter, it's leaning more to the left. We had issue with this in Billy's car. We had issue with this in Eric's car. And first time ever I'm running innovative in my car, and well, what do you know? It's freaking crooked as well. But as long as all the gears go in like it should, I don't think we should have any real issues. So I'm just gonna go ahead and button everything up, guys. I really don't wanna be out here too late. It feels weird. Yeah, I do not like this shift linkage. I don't like how crooked it is. All right, guys, so I just got my ride height set. We have a thumb, or actually kind of settled a little bit, but we're gonna set it at a thumb. I had it at a thumb, I don't know why. I guess it's evened out now, but I gotta adjust the height a little bit more. I did it once already. I did something a little crazy. I did a launch and I did a drive around the block on the slicks, and it drove back up perfectly fine. So I think this car is ready for tomorrow's voyage. That means I have about 9 hours, and I'm gonna clean up, get myself cleaned up, get some rest, and we're headed to the track tomorrow. So gotta pull the wheels off and throw my street tires on, get everything stacked and packed for tomorrow's load up. And that's pretty much going to be the end of this video, guys. But before we close it out, let's open up those packages real quick. First package came from Eric Sanchez out of Los Angeles. Blade getting kind of dull. It says, "Yo Dana, here's a small thank you for the great content and inspiration. I made the energy horn delete and shifter. Hope you like it, and I have an account. If you ever need anything, hit me up. Horn delete only works with Momos and NRG wheels. I want to send with Leo. Hopefully next time. Insta Eric Jr. 1. Thanks. Keep up the great work." Horn. We got some holy JDM air freshener. Look, my hand is still shaking from that pull I just did. But wow, look at this. Put it in your vent, and it should blow some JDM scent. So here we have get NRG. Actually, oh okay, so whoops. So this is the delete plate. Oh wow, that is pretty sick, my dude. That is pretty sick. Wait a minute, my hand's still shaking. This is the same font that you guys were tagging me in on Instagram. So I'm kind of curious if this is the set item. Now, before I get to that, we have some, oh, this is the parking sticker, the JDM rear window sticker right there. Sick, dude. I'm freaking shaking, dude. I haven't driven front wheel drive turbo cars in a cool minute. This one here sticks on the inside of the glass, I believe. This is also a parking sticker or year sticker or registration sticker. If you guys know what this is, leave a comment down below, because I can't read Japanese. But this is definitely awesome to have. We have the screws right here for the delete. We have shift motors. Where have you seen the sticker before? Boy, I am freaking shaking. Yo, this is so I didn't know what this was, and everybody was commenting saying that it was a shift knob. Wow, I think it's got some weight to it. Definitely some weight to it. And it's I believe this is like a billet aluminum. It's a shift knob with my name on it. This is freaking awesome, dude. Super awesome. It's got the locking nut right here. Get NRG Prisma. I want to get one of their seats, but you know, can't afford it right now. But yo, Eric, big shout out. thank you for this custom shift knob and this horn delete plate. Definitely gonna use that on, I mean, I got a lot of steering wheels up there without a horn, so we'll put that to use. Thank you for the air freshener, thank you for the sticker and all of the hardware as well. Truly appreciate it, man. I'm sweating right now. Sheesh. Big light package. What's in here? I feel stupid as fuck. The camera was off this entire time, but we just opened up the second package. I try to pronounce the name of the person, Benavy, Benavvy, to realize it's not even a name. It's freaking, it's the brand. So there's no name or anything in here, but big shout out to you, man, out of North Las Vegas. It's just a freaking product, North Las Vegas. But thank you to whoever sent this to the PO box. It is definitely it's a polishing kit. Has a lot of different color pads for different stages of polishing, I guess. But we got the 3-inch pads, and I believe this is like a this might be like a 5-inch pad right here. But if you guys ever notice, when I use my small little drill and polishing pad, I've been using the same one over and over and over again, and you're not supposed to use the same one over and over because it actually could damage the paint a lot more. But yeah, man, big shout out to whoever sent this over, because this was truly needed for a lot of small polishing projects that I do around the house. But yeah, thank you for this right here, man. But honestly, thank you guys for spending your hard-earned cash to buy products like this. This is brand spanking new, and sending it over to the PO box. I truly appreciate it. Definitely going to put it to use, guys. So anyways, that is gonna wrap up this video, guys. So I gotta clean up, still gotta get myself ready to go to sleep so I can get some hours before my long drive to track tomorrow. It is the last track of the year. And also, I want to touch bases again real quick. I did mention that I was gonna sell this car, and throughout the video I mentioned that I was gonna keep it all-wheel drive and stuff like that. The car is gonna go for sale. We'll talk more in details when we get to it, but tomorrow hopefully we hit our goals of going 10s, and if it does, then you know, we're set in stone what we're going to be doing with this car. And if we don't hit our goal, well, I'm still probably going to sell the car. But you guys gonna stick around for that series, because it's going to be like literally a whole new build again. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for the track video, which is tomorrow for me and next upload for you, be sure to hit the subscribe button. With that being said, hopefully there's no oil on my face. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.